it's your girl Black in the City, and we are outside. And y'all already know I say we outside because I'm bringing y'all along with me, y'all. Today is short and sweet. I'm just coming to give y'all a month update of me being based in Detroit. You know, some things that I've noticed, the differences between Atlanta and Detroit, really compare and contrast. So this will be a short and sweet video, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's just dive right into it. I am gonna be looking this way at my iMac to look at the notes that I've been writing. So Detroit versus Atlanta. First and foremost, the trips that I can hold are completely different. Atlanta versus Detroit. Everybody knows Atlanta is a senior base, so your trips will look completely different at a junior base. So in Atlanta, I don't hold weekends off. I don't hold holidays off. I don't even hold midweek trips. I mostly work on the weekends. I do have some stuff throughout the week. Primarily because I bid for 1 day or like turns or 2 days max in Atlanta, so they have to put more trips on my schedule in comparison to being based in Detroit, where I'm currently a commuter, where I bid for 3-day trips. So I typically, well, not typically, I only work Tuesday through Thursday out of Detroit. So no weekends. I hold Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. And yeah, they are not high value 3-day trips in Detroit, but they are commutable on the front and the back end for the most part. But anyways, what else do I have on here? Oh, in Atlanta I can hold like a Montego Bay turn, a Cancun turn. I can hold Cancun layovers. As far as like internationals, that's the only thing that I can hold in Atlanta. In Detroit, I do not get awarded any international trips. Montego Bay and like Cancun are like, you're going international, but it's not a transoceanic flight. So that's why I can hold those in Atlanta. However, for my September schedule, since I am planning to live there, hoping that I'm there, I did bid for turns in 2 days. I did bid for 3 days. So that's another thing that's stressing me out, because if I'm not able to move there for September, I'm going to have a very hard month in September if I don't live there and I have a schedule full of turns or 2 days, because that means hotels if I can't get my trips dropped. And that's money that's going to be coming out of my pocket. So your girl is like stress, anxiety on 10, okay? So I've got to move there. Hopefully I can drop turns in Detroit, but again, at my seniority, I don't know what I can hold there just yet, because we do have so many commuters out of Detroit. I looked at what we can hold at my seniority, and nobody really has turns. And so yeah, I will be able to give y'all a better idea of what I can hold as far as what I like once my September schedule drops. And for Detroit, schedules come out on the 16th of every month, which is another comparison that I would like to make, because in Atlanta our schedules come out on the 19th of every month. So like August 19th I would get my schedule for September in Atlanta, whereas in Detroit on August 16th I would get my schedule for September. So I like that. I like getting my schedule as early as I could possibly get it. I think all bases probably get their schedule on the 16th except Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not 100% sure about that, but since Atlanta is a big base, I guess they need those extra couple days to figure everything out. But yes, I do love getting my schedule a little bit earlier. It does help as far as planning and stuff like that. So yes, and I feel like it also gives you more time to move things around for the next month. Like if you have plans on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of September, but you get your schedule on the 19th, you're pushing it kind of close to like maneuver your schedule around. So that makes things kind of hard. But yeah, so I do like getting my schedule earlier, and I try to be off during those times, because you cannot finesse your schedule if you're working. Like if you're in air or boarding, whatever, you can't touch your schedule while you're working. So I try to be off whenever schedules drop, if at all possible. Another major difference between Atlanta and Detroit is the culture, y'all. It's the biggest thing. Like, I really realize how big of a difference the cultures are base to base until you are fully there to experience it. Like, everybody talks so bad about Atlanta, they make it seem like you're going to a war zone, and it's not that bad. Especially if you live in Atlanta, you don't really care because you don't want to be a commuter. You'll just deal with anything just so that you can be home, and I get that. That's the whole reason why I left Boston. When I left Boston, I was based in Atlanta for 2 years because I didn't care. I just wanted to be at home. Nobody wants to be a commuter if you don't have to. It comes with a lot. It's stressful, y'all. Like, I have, Rocco just busted here, I have alarms on my phone to go off every day that I need to book my jump seat, and you cannot miss, or because if you don't book that jump seat, baby, you're not getting to work. Like, it, well, I can't say you won't get to work, but it's going to be a struggle. Like, it'd be hard. So well, at least I could say that, like, if you don't book your jump seat, you'll just be a little bit more stressed about getting to and from work because you don't have that guaranteed seat. And the jump seat is almost a guaranteed seat. Anything can happen with the flight. It can get canceled, it can get delayed, whatever the case may be, but you know that if that flight goes, you have that jump seat. Whereas if you're non-revving, if there's no available seats, baby, you're just not going. So everybody likes to book the jump seat to kind of make sure that they have that spot. And when I tell you, we can book our jump seats at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, if you don't book that jump seat that you need it for, baby, it's gone. Like, you literally got to be on there ready to push the button at that time. So it's stressful in that regard. But like I said, once I came to Detroit, I noticed a big culture difference. Detroit is way more laid back, like way more laid back. In Atlanta, it's a lot of little things that you'll notice that is just like, baby, it's never been that serious. Like, the crews in Detroit are so chill. Like, everybody's just like, let's just do this, knock this out, have a good time if we can, and just go back home at the end of the day. And I love that. In Atlanta, the airport is always crowded. People stressed. We getting rerouted. Like, you just nervous. Like, you know what I mean? And it's to the point where I used to be a big advocate for Atlanta. Like, come to Atlanta, it's not that bad. But now I'm like, when I go through Atlanta, I'm like, Lord, please don't let us get rerouted. Please, I'm stressed. Like, you walk through the airport, it's just like a zoo every time. And I just thought that was normal for everybody. But, bro, it's not. Like, my first trip out of Detroit, I was like, where y'all at? Like, where are all the people? Like, this is it? This is it? Oh, baby, this is a cake. Like, so yeah, and the airport is easy to maneuver too. It's one, like, baby, we only own concourse A. There's no going to concourse C, B, D, E, F, all of that. Like, you have Atlanta having to get on that train and running, hustling and all that. You don't have that in Detroit. Like, they do have a tram, because it is only concourse A, it's long. So I think it goes from like 1 to like 70 something, and I tried to walk in one time not knowing it was that long, and that's when I was late. I did that vlog already. I was late because I didn't realize how long it was. So you do need to get on a tram to maneuver back and forth, but the tram is not, again, not like Atlanta. You don't gotta hurry up and hop in before that door, slam your bag, your arm, your whatever. Like, it's relaxed. Like, come on. But yeah, there's a major culture difference between Detroit and Atlanta, and I love that. And I don't know if it's because Atlanta is a senior base versus a junior base, where, you know, you got new people, so we're much more like ready to have fun, you know what I mean, more social, more just laid back and chill, or what it is. But it's definitely a culture difference from the trips, the cruise, everything. The airport. What else do I have on here? I talked about the day trips. I can hold the culture, the flexibility of the airport. Yeah, so that's just some of the things that I noticed. Differences between Atlanta, the culture of the cruise, the flexibility of the airport, the scheduled dates, and trips that I can hold are some major differences that I have noticed. And this is just my 1 month update, y'all. I'm pretty sure as time goes on, I will continue to notice differences between Atlanta and Detroit. But what I will say is Detroit is such a great base that people are willing to commute to Detroit, and that people are willing to commute to Detroit and they don't want to move. I'm moving because I know it'll be easier for me and with Rocco. So yeah, but I know Detroit is not my forever home, but I'm willing to move there at least for, you know, a little bit of time until I can hold what I want to hold in whatever city I decide to move into next. But people are willing to commute to Detroit just because it is such a great base, and it is so flexible, and they can hold what they want. in Detroit. Like a guy I just flew with on my commuter flight home, he's 6 years in, and he held a, I don't remember where it was, I think Shanghai. He held one Shanghai for the summertime, 6 years in, which is crazy, bro, like crazy in Detroit. So yeah, it's just little differences like that for things that will make people commute to Detroit, because in Atlanta you would never see stuff like that. Like, you got to be here, baby, forever, ever, forever, ever, 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 yeah, forever, ever. So yeah, I know this video is probably all over the place, but it's the best I can do right now. Back in the city, and this is my 1 month update, y'all. Until next time, we'll be checking out.